Up, but no, I see that that we're struggling, and I'm a guy that wants the ball in those times when we can't find a way. Give it to me. Like when the game's on the line, give the ball to me. I want that. I want that pressure. I put it on myself, and I work hard for it.
Okay, again, to the Philadelphia Eagles, which I root for, please buy a tripod. It's the second time I asked. Please, we'll send you one. Brew, your reaction to A.J. Brown's quote.
Oh. Bravo, A.J. Brown. Bravo, A.J. Brown. He owned it. I like the fact that he went there before the cameras and said, my bad. I was wrong. I was frustrated. I shouldn't have done that. I was wrong. I've seen a lot of athletes and even people say, I have no regrets. like they've never done anything wrong, or I learned from it I got regrets. I've done things wrong. I think all of us have some regrets. Admit you did something wrong.
The way you treated Dusty earlier.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see after the show how Dusty, if he took it seriously. But no, I mean, he owned it, and I like that. Now, he may do it again because he's an emotional guy. Sometimes he wears his emotions on his sleeves. But his explanation was legitimate. Like, we are struggling. Mm-hmm. They are struggling. He wants the ball. I have no problem with that. And I understand his frustration even as they're winning. Like, I think we all would agree, is probably a top 5 receiver in the league, or certainly right in that discussion. Yep. He is 61st in the league in receptions right now. He is 70th in yards per catch, 66th in yards per game, and he's got 1 touchdown. And all of those outside of the touchdowns are on pace for career lows, maybe even touchdowns is. And he's 28 years old. He's right in the middle of his prime. And he wants to, when you have star ability, you want to be a star. I've said it before. If I'm Donovan Mitchell or Jalen Brunson, I don't want to go somewhere and average 13 points as a role player and win a ring. I want to win a ring, but I want to also play up to my individual potential as a star. Now, if you're not a star, it's different. And AJ's already got a ring. I'm not saying it's all right to be selfish, but I do get where he's frustrated and wants to shine, especially when the offense isn't clicking.
I don't find this selfish. I would if their offense was prolific, or if they were blowing people out with a dominant defense, ball control style offense. Then I might understand it and find it selfish.
And say you don't need to say anything.
Right. But not only do I understand this, I don't find it selfish. And I agree with Brew. What I would have hated would if he would have been like, man, that tweet didn't have anything to do with the team. You know what I mean? Just lied, which was – and I think the audience has maybe picked up on this from me. I like A.J. Brown. Obviously, he's a great player. I like his earnestness and honesty about who he is. I respect people who, even if who you are is not the, platonic ideal for teammate or whatever, you're like, I am who I am. I'm going to tell you right after the Super Bowl that the Super Bowl glow has already worn off. Like, I respect that part of him. And I think he is important for this Eagles team, not just because he's a great player, but Wilds, because he's right. Mm-hmm. What they are doing right now is not sustainable. So these offensive ranks where they are for this year is not sustainable.
Get back to the Super Bowl.
Correct. That's what I mean. It's not sustainable if they want to have a chance at repeating.
So just to dig into it, for our podcast listeners.
Yes, they're 7th in points and then 29th or 30th or 31st in total yards, passing yards, yards per rush, yards per play. They're dead even in the league, 16th in yards per game.
But oddly, 7th in points because they're so effective in the red zone.
But also
if it was like, hey, a team is 7th in points, are they on the right track? You would say yes. So it's just the outlier.
And they would be
of everything
9th,
else.
I think, without the special team.
Right. So the special team touchdowns helped them.
Still top 10.
And still top 10.
The point that you led me right to, I think the point that I was going to make, which is I do not think they will stay 7th in points.
You think are an aberration?
Yeah, if they don't.
Correct.
Change.
If they don't change those other things. If I truly believed they could play this way and be 30th in a bunch of categories, but 7th in the only category that really matters, points scored, I'd be fine with it. I don't think they're going to bat 1,000 on the red zone this year, even if they're the best red zone team. Like, that's not what they're going to be. And the other thing is those 2 of the last 4 halves of offensive football they've played have been the 2 worst passing halves any team has played in the league all year. And so look at the company that they keep on it. So the Eagles had -18 passing yards in the second half last week, -1 in the first half 2 weeks ago. The Bengals with Jake Browning. The Jets with a backup quarterback, I think, in that game. It was either Tyrod or Fields, but I think that was the backup quarterback game. Doesn't matter. The Titans with a rookie, and the Cardinals with Kyler, but in a game they led, the entire second half, and they were really trying to run the ball. That can't happen. And here is where I will turn it a bit to you. You don't want, you being Kevin Wildes, the Jalen Hurts fan, and Eagles fans who are Jalen Hurts fans, Jalen Hurts to all of a sudden be on the Tim Tebow section of the chart, which is like the guy's I don't care that throws for no yards. The guy's a winner. He's tough. Like those.
No yards.
But but don't you? And maybe you just use that as a description. He's beyond.
Oh,
Tim
no.
Tebow. No.
But I'm saying up to if Jalen Hurts' entire career was this year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This year, it's like Tebow-ish in they win.
I mean, Tebow was.
No, but it was
those
about
first 3 quarters.
But I mean, the yards are about like this. No, and again, I don't want to be misconstrued. I'm not comparing the players. What I'm saying is, you feel, and Eagles fans feel, I think, that we have a star quarterback. And if you have a star quarterback, this can't happen.
Yeah.
And so
it doesn't
AJ's
make
not
sense
wrong
what
about
they're
that.
doing.
No.
Like it really, and for Petula I wouldn't think it makes sense if he was coming in fresh, but to have been there for 5, 6 years, whatever it is, and to know these players, that it makes no sense the way they're running their offense to me.
So what do you think happens now with Surtain over there?
Well, that's interesting. I wasn't even thinking about the Surtain element.
Well, it's like, all right, the antidote.
You don't force it to him. You cannot force it to him.
Then you got to creatively force it to him.
No, you play your game. I think
I don't think
you try to throw the football more, and you play your game. That means some passes are going to go to AJ. You also have Devontae Smith over there, and some are going to go to him.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think you can go out of your way, especially like you said, if Surtain's on him, and try to force feed him the ball. I think it has to come within.
How much of fixing this is on Jalen?
I think it's more the play calling.
To have 0 completions?
Jalen threw some bad balls. Others, he was blanketed, and he still threw it to him. So I just think they're not getting, like you said, those intermediate passes.
We saw him talk to Petula on the sidelines, which
2 weeks ago. Yep.
Yeah, which felt a little bit like, I don't know, like heat of the moment type stuff, even though it was very a rational conversation. It's probably a better question for coach when we've seen, like you've seen Brady and Belichick sit down and like talk about a game plan very constructively. Peyton and Breeze have a whole thing where they're like sitting down, like nose in the binders. What is the relationship between Jalen Hurts, Sirianni, and Petula, where is Jalen Hurts executing Petula's system, or is Petula building a system that works for Jalen?
No, but I guess that's not really my question. Maybe I phrased it wrong. My point is this: do we think there is a game plan that could exist where if any of our other star quarterbacks in the league were dropped on the Eagles the last 2 weeks, they had negative passing yard halves? Or would those players be like, no? Like I'm finding a way to get my playmakers involved and get the ball in their hands. The 0 completions, the negative, that's what I'm asking.
I get it now.
And I think Jalen has enough cachet to, I'm not saying go rogue, but if it is all, the OC's just in over his skis.
Yeah, I'm switching the play and getting AJ the Brown.
Yes, I mean I am doing.
But not just to get AJ the ball.
No, to get Devon. That's what I'm saying. To get, even if it's not AJ Brown, we can't have 0 yards at the half can't be an improvement. And that's where we've been 2 of the last 4 halves. Like that, and so I believe that Jalen has the ability to do that. Like, so I just find it, I find this very odd, and I don't blame A.J. Brown for sounding the alarm a bit.
I'm fine with it.
All right, Coach Prime, son mimes. Deion Sanders responded to the silent interview that Shador gave to reporters yesterday. Schefter says it was in response to Rex Ryan's criticism of Shador, telling him to be quiet. Deion posting 10 crying, laughing emojis and saying, good one, son, you did that. Brew, your reaction to Prime's reaction.
Is that just a parent's love? That's the only thing I can see that because obviously we all respect Prime as a parent and a father figure to Travis Hunter and some other guys. I also love the way he handles himself. I love that he boldly proclaims his faith in Jesus Christ, all that. But this is a misstep. Like that, there is no other way to look at this and think this was good, what Shador did. Like, in a vacuum, maybe, we said even yesterday, it could be funny. It was, oh, okay. But the context is important. And the context here is that Shador Sanders is fighting for his football life. Like, whether you think, and I'm a guy that likes Shador and felt like he should have gone in the first round. But whether you think Shador is getting, blackballed, or whether you think the Browns just don't like him, or whatever you think, the fact is every team in the league passed on him multiple times. And the team he's on, he's third string.
And they just had an opportunity to bump him up to second, and they were like, no, we're not doing that.
And you also, here's the interesting thing, because if I was a reporter covering the Browns, and I'm guessing some of their reporters are, I would be going to players privately. Shador, how's he look? Should he be playing? Like, you have not seen any anonymous quotes coming from players like, man, Shador looks good. I don't know why he's not playing.
That's interesting.
Like, when your quarterback has thrown 6 interceptions in 4 games, when your defense is legit and you just simply can't win because you have no offense, there are no anonymous quotes like, man, I don't know what they're doing, because Shador looks good. I think Shador should get a shot. We haven't seen any of that. And we know players like Shador. And you still haven't seen it.
That's interesting.
So I'm just saying, as talented as I think he is, he apparently isn't ready.
Clearly.
And so what this does is make the other 31 teams and the Browns think Shador is immature or silly.
It was immature.
Yeah.
And it was silly.
It's not getting, it's not going to endear him to anybody. And lastly, I'll say this, Nick. You said yesterday Shador's kind of misplayed the last 9 months, the draft process. So has Deion.
Yes.
Like, when Deion came out before the draft and was like, I'm going to, he's only going to certain teams. I'm going to make sure he goes to the right situation. I'm going to get involved with it, and like, that obviously turns some teams off. And then supporting this, this is a misstep by Deion and Shador.
Yeah, I want to talk Deion, then I want to talk Shador. I echo what Bruce said on the front end. I think I have so much respect for Deion Sanders, okay? I also think he is either giving Shador bad advice or, in this instance, I know, encouraging what I think is